Okay people, are you ready to see what this engine is inside? Here we have it. Oh yes! That is pure beauty. This is the cleanest RF900 engine you'll ever see. This will make loads of power. You know, with this type of stuff inside, this is 200 horsepower it will make. So there we go, question answered. Why wouldn't this engine turn over? So as you can see, I've removed some of that crap from those cylinders, and I scraped most of those rust away, so I'm hoping now, I've got no doubt this still wouldn't spin because this is just completely screwed, but I'm hoping that if I remove those cylinders and then I'm going to have no resistance from between the pistons and cylinders, then maybe, hopefully, the crankshaft will rotate easily. So to remove the cylinders, I have removed this small nut here at the bottom, 10mm nut, and now I'm going to tap it out, hoping that it will actually come out. Shite. Alright folks, so look at this. Those cylinders are not coming out. I mean, I got them somewhat loose, so the gap is, I've got that gap here. You see this? So this is the gap. Alright. As you can see, this is what I can get, and that is it. They are absolutely rust welded there. They are not coming out. So I guess I'm gonna have to cut them open with angle grinder.
A few moments later.
I took the cylinders off. Have a look at this. See those skirts? Alright people, so here we have it. I've removed pretty much everything I could remove. Complete clutch with the basket disassembled. Alternator was removed before. Starter, as you can see, the cylinder head and the cylinders. Now the reason why I didn't film removing the cylinders, fellas, is because it took me 3 hours. Absolute battle. So the cylinders, pistons, rings, it's all junk. I can just literally put it in the bin. Will this crankshaft actually move, or it's seized? Let's have a look. Okay, so at least I've got decent bottom end, which might work. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip the bottom of it. I'm going to remove the oil pan, and I'm going to inspect it from the bottom. I'll clean everything, and who knows, maybe if I put some work into it in time, maybe I can have an engine. Okay peeps, so here's the head removed from the rust remover. I had the head in it for about 24 hours, so it looks a bit cleaner. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove all the valves and springs, and then we'll see if the seats and valves are pitted and destroyed. Here's what I've got on this valve. See this? OMG. Alright, so I'll show one more valve. So I'm going to go for this intake valve here. So the tool goes on. Okay, and now I start compressing it. Hopefully you can see what's going on there. This valve is being, the spring is being compressed. And now I'm going to remove the valve keepers. Can this be seen? Let me just get this magnified. Okay, so I'm just going to get my magnet in there. So keepers come out. And then what I'm doing is I'm unwinding the tool. Okay, so the spring isn't compressed anymore. after removal of the spring, I will push the valve out. Valve comes out. Once again, this is the type of mess we've got there.
A few moments later.
Okay peeps, so as you can see I've removed all the valves, springs, seats and stuff like that. Let's have a look what we've got in those combustion chambers. That is just ridiculous, look at that. Okay peeps, I am now going to remove those insanely maimed pistons. Let me just magnify it. So here you will see those are those clips holding the wrist pins. So I'm just gonna open it up. Okay, now you go around it. And the clip comes out. Okay, so I'm going to do the same from the other side. Okay, here's my other clip. And let's see if the pin moves or not. Okay, so the pin comes out from the other side. I'll just move this engine for you so you can see this. So here we have the pin, and I'm just going to slide it out. Oh. There we go. Piston comes out with a pin. Alright, next one to be removed is going to be that one here from the cylinder number 3. So I'm just going to move the crankshaft a bit so this pops out a bit higher, and same as before I'm going to put some rag around it. Here is where we've got that clip. I'll pry it up. And look at this, it pops out. There we go, flies off. And here we have it. That's another one popped out. And let's get that one off. There we go. Got the clip here. Alright, let's try to get that one off. Come on. Okay, that clip came out fairly easily. Now the question is, will I be able to move this bloody pin or not? And it's stuck as the other one. Alright, so I guess some penetrating fluid will need to go in there. And what I'm actually doing, I'm trying to tap it out with the drift, because it's just stuck in there, rusted in. So let me just show you what I'm doing here. Gentle taps. And here we have it. Will it come out now by hand? No, not yet. Okay, just a couple more taps. Okay, that's the last one. Not being funny, have a look at this. See this? The skirt is gone. That's what it should be. That's what it is. Look at the rings. Completely flat. Normally piston rings stick out from the piston, but this is completely flat and destroyed. Alright fellas, so here we have this junk engine. This is next day. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to remove you know, the wiring and some other cables here. So for instance, this ignition pickup coil, I'm going to remove that. I'll probably remove those hoses here, and then some other sensors and hoses there. So once I've removed all those things that just hang off it now, I'm going to reinstall those damaged cylinders on it without pistons. I'm going to put the head on it as well, without any valves in it. I'm going to put the valve cover on top of that, so it will look like it's a closed engine, because I don't have a proper engine stand on which I could have the engine upside down. So the whole idea of having this top end reassembled is just so I can put the engine upside down and work on it. I mean, I guess I could do it and just rest it on those con rods, but I don't know. To open them up. So I've done this already, as you can see here. I've done that one there, and now that one here. That's cool. Okay, next there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 screws holding this water pump housing, and I can tell you already, I got those loose using the impact screwdriver. So basically I gave it a few taps like this. So let's get rid of all those screws. And as you can see, the cover comes off. Here we have the gasket inside. Alright, and the sensor pops off. So at the back of the sensor here there's going to be an O-ring, and here you'll have two things. You'll have this little pin in there. There's a little pin in there, and inside there there's also a spring, so that spring has to be removed by a magnet. And so as you can see, there's two cables here. One of them is obviously the cable for the neutral sensor, so that will come out when the water pump comes off, and the other one is the oil switch, oil pressure sensor, which goes there from the bottom. So I'm just gonna feed it through here. And now, because this is M6 thread in there, do you see where I'm going with this? I'm gonna try to drive it out like you would do with a bearing in a swing arm, for instance. So I've extended this to have more room for the hammer. Let's try again. And look at this, it works, and it works beautifully. Look at this. And all I've got to do now is retrieve this little spring from there, and for that job, piece of wire is great. There we go. Spring removed. Okay, time now to completely release this plate from here. So as I said before, this plate is actually held by 4 screws. One here, second here, third here, and fourth here, full of grime on it. and the screws are secured by those bent plates. So let's open it. Okay, and now removing it should be easy peasy. Okay, and the plate comes off. So now, if you wanted to remove that seal here, this is the clutch push rod seal, then it's easy. You just put a screwdriver there and pop it out. If you want to replace it with a new one, you simply oil it and pop it back in. Super easy. Cables here. So first, what's gonna go for now will be this ignition signal coil. So that is held just by, not that screwdriver, different one. That is held just by those two screws here. First one off. Second one off. Okay, cool.